Hello, friends and family. This is Patrick Tomlinson from Reflections. We are out today in the field at the African American Appreciation Day here at 4101 White Plains Road, put on by Assemblyman Carl Hastie's office, and we're going to be having a number of interesting speakers. So please stay tuned. We have a very exciting lineup for you, and we hope you will enjoy it. Thank you very much. See you soon again.
And again, I want to thank you all for coming out because today's the last day of Black History Month, which means it's the culmination of our time together. So from the month of February, we've had the opportunity to do a lot of events in the district, and we were able to visit a few schools, visit a few homes, but more importantly, bridge that divide that we've had specifically within the Northeast Bronx. Because I'm sure we all can feel that there is a disconnect, and I'm hoping that today, whatever you gather from this event, you can take it back to your friends and family, and moving forward, we as a community can ultimately move in a better direction. Before I officially start, I think our Congressman Engel has a few words for you. At this time, I'll turn it over to them.
I've had the honor of being a congressman now for a number of years. I've interacted with many people, and we're really fortunate, I think, in Northeast Bronx to have a community of people who care, to have the Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Heastie, represent us. We had the ribbon cutting just last week of the new YMCA. It's going to be built, and believe me, it's going to be a wonderful facility. And we all like to take credit for it, but Carl really deserves credit for it. He really, as Speaker, was able to make that move. And he's very modest, he won't take credit for it, but we've been fighting for this youth center for years, and we finally got it. In no small part because Carl was the Speaker, but all the elected officials, we all work together. My district is the biggest congressional district, huge. I represent about 750,000 people in the Bronx and in Westchester, and again, the Northeast Bronx is where I grew up, so it's my home. We face a lot of difficulties in this country, and I don't really want to get political, but I'm going to tell you how I feel. The number one problem we have in this country is the President of the United States. I was listening to some of his nonsense this morning. It made me so angry. We have this coronavirus, which none of us really knows what its destructive, the destructive aspect of the world will take us. And the President, by not being honest with the American people, by saying, "Oh, don't worry, it'll go away," things don't happen because you wish them to happen. They happen because you try to be the best. And we are going into uncharted waters, and the President just says, "Oh, don't worry about it, everything is fine." I mean, I did my part. I impeached him. I voted to impeach him. But he has to really understand that the American people aren't fools, and we deserve to be told the truth. Not just something to make him look better or to make him look worse even. I don't really care how he looks, but I want to know that there's confidence and that is happening. America, when I was growing up, we heard America was a melting pot. All communities know it really wasn't a melting pot, and nobody, of course, knows better than the African American community. But I do think that we have made progress in recent years. I think that things are changing. I think the younger generation is so much better equipped, frankly, than we were. And I do feel that this country has a great, I could have arranged that not to happen. I think this country has a great future because of young people who really understand that we all work together. My colleague, John Lewis, many of you know from Atlanta, Georgia. He grew up in Alabama and was part of that march on the Pettus Bridge in Montgomery, Selma. And I went back there to Montgomery and Selma with him when we did the recreation of walking on the bridge. And he has this wonderful saying that I always love to repeat. He says, "We may not have come here on on the same ship, but we're now in the same boat together. And that is something that I think we all need to understand, that we are all in the same boat together. There has been progress that has been made, but there's still really so much more to go. And unfortunately, we always have people who like to divide us rather than people who make us come together. So we pause on a day like today to see our similarities, and to see that a community like the East Bronx, I think in many ways can really teach the rest of the country how to act. We have problems, I think we have a community, but I think that we have people who really care about the community, who have respect for one another. It's always a thing in the progress with our kids, to teach our kids. So I just wanted to come as an enormous amount of events today. When I came here first, I figured I wanted to make sure I was here. I hope when the call comes, you tell I was here. And it's really a pleasure to see all of you. I want to also say that I have district offices to help you with community problems or with personal problems. If you have a community concern or if you have a personal problem, my motto for all the years I've been in Congress has been no problem is too big or too small. If you need help with anything, please come to my office. We've got a Co-op City office, we've got a Riverdale office, we've got a Mount Vernon office, and we have right here at Town Hall, many of you know Shirley Fearon. Shirley works for me, runs my Co-op City office, and she's also here. So we have people from Williamsbridge who want to help but find it not convenient to get to Co-op City or to some of the other places. So we have it right here once a week, every afternoon, one of the weekdays. Again, no problem is too small or too large. We're there to help. So as we celebrate this wonderful month, it's also my birthday month, February. Thank you. Although I tell everybody from now on, I can tell my friends from now on, I'm taking any birthday, I'm taking a year off instead of adding a year to it. But we're all fortunate, I think, not that we don't have problems, but we have respect for one another in this community, and that's why it makes the Bronx. When we hear the media talk about the Bronx, they're usually negative, and they should come here. They should come here right now. This is the real Bronx. Everyone here, younger people, older people, working together. Because you care about the community. Everybody could have stayed in bed, slept an extra hour or two this morning, but you're here. You're here because you care about the community. You're here because you understand that participation is the way to make our community better. So whether it's the schools, and I was a teacher when I graduated, I went to school in the Bronx all my life. We do have a lot to offer, but we need to make sure that communities like this don't get left behind. I promise you, as long as I'm your congressman, I'll be up there with my sleeves rolled up in there fighting. And thank you for this.
My name is Patrick Tomlinson from Reflections. I have the pleasure of Hon.Elliot Engel, who is the congressman and the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, with us this morning. I'd like to take the time out to ask him to offer a few brief words to give us an update of his responsibilities in Congress. Congressman, thank you so much for appearing. Welcome.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I have the honor of serving in Congress for the past 30 years. I grew up in this neighborhood in the Northeast Bronx, went to public schools in this area.
You don't mind saying which one?
Evander Childs High School, which was on Gun Hill Road. Mm-hmm. And my wife also grew up in this area, and it's been an honor and a pleasure for me to represent citizens of Williamsbridge and Wakefield and the entire district. This, of course, February is Black History Month, and today on the 29th is African American Appreciation Day. we have an extra day this year because it's leap year, so we got an extra day of Black History Month. In the Northeast Bronx, we have always learned together and respected each other. And I think that if there is one message I'd like to leave, it's that ought to spread to the entire country. We are all God's children, and we all need to care for ourselves and each other. We have this threat of this coronavirus coming up, and we see how arbitrary it is, that anybody can catch it. If that doesn't show that we're all equals, I don't know what does. And so it's very important that we hold events like this to celebrate the rich culture of so many different people. And in February, of course, it's always African American celebration. And we have a lot of difficulties in this country, but I feel that we have a lot of good things in this country, and working together will make them even better. We care about our children. We care about their future. We want to make sure the schools are good. We just cut the ribbon the other day, a few blocks from here, building a new community center for YMCA, and we've been fighting for that for years. We get the money, we have it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. I am as you mentioned, the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the U.S. House of Representatives. I'm the chairman because I have a lot of seniority, and I like to think I've worked hard, and people wanted me to be the chairman.
I think you do too.
Well, thank you. And again, we have many problems and concerns around the world, and particularly in this area, we have a lot of people who have come here from the English-speaking Caribbean nations, and there are lots of good ties between the Caribbean and the Northeast Bronx. And so maybe one year we'll all take a trip and we'll go to the warm weather during the winter time. But it's really just events that are happening here today show the rich culture that we have, African American rich culture, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Excellent. Could you take just a couple of minutes, Congressman, to just summarize for us some of the events that fall under your portfolio, some of the issues that you're looking at outside of the Bronx, worldwide, topical issues?
Well, of course, there's so many. Many of us were I voted to impeach Donald Trump. I thought that what he did was disgraceful. There is money that Congress allocated for foreign aid, and he took the money and used it for his own political purposes to try to get dirt on his opponents. That was disgraceful, unacceptable. The money's not his money, it's the people's money, and the people's government is the one that can say where that money goes. It's not for his personal use. I am very much chagrined over Mr. Trump's constantly playing down this pandemic virus that could affect all of us, telling people that they shouldn't worry. We want people to be prepared. We don't want to just dismiss it, and we don't want to panic anybody, but we want to tell people the truth. And you can't wish the truth, you've got to make the truth.
Absolutely.
And so I just think that one after another things that he's doing is things that I really have a problem with. And it's all the more aggravating because he's from New York. So you think he would have known better, but apparently he doesn't. So people elected me in the Congress. I have the support of Nancy Pelosi, who's our Speaker, and the majority of members from the Democratic side of the aisle, and I'm a Democrat, and I'm very pleased. We hold hearings. We hold hearings about things that happen all over the world, and I know in this area, since we have a lot of people from the West Indies and the Caribbean, it helps tie the countries together. I have a particular interest in foreign affairs in the English-speaking Caribbean because of the ties. And I think it's so important to do that. I also think that we help people who want to emigrate, who have all kinds of skills, who may have family here and have difficulty getting approval. My office helps people with personal problems.
Your office
yes, I have 4 offices. The office that is here is right here where we are in Town Hall, where Shirley Fearon, who works for me, goes there every week, once a week, and helps people with problems. We also have a full-time office in Co-op City. We have a full-time office in Riverdale, and we have a full-time office in Mount Vernon, which of course is not far from here as well. So I tell people that no problem is too big or too small. Whatever problem they have, if they need help, we're there to help.
Excellent. Well, Congressman, I know time is always of essence. I know you're an extremely busy person, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and share some sentiments and also give us an update of what's happening.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I wanted to say also that as a native Bronxite, we're proud of you, and we thank you, and we wish you Godspeed in your work.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. That's it for me, Patrick Tomlinson, Reflections.
We believe this new virus spreads mostly from person to person through respiratory droplets produced when someone who is sick coughs or sneezes. This is similar to how flu and other respiratory illnesses spread. These droplets can land in the mouth or nose of people nearby, or possibly be inhaled into the lungs. Most person-to-person spread happens when people are in close contact. It's also possible that this virus can spread when someone touches a contaminated surface and then touches the mouth, nose, or eyes.
Welcome again. With me is Corey Spencer, Managing Archivist for the
Bronx African
American History Project. Corey, thank you for coming and sharing a few moments with us. I'd like to turn the mic over with you for you to tell us a little bit about this project and a little bit about your personal, situation, because you told us, you shared with us, and you, I think, have overcome odds, and you've gone on to do wonderful things. You're a doctoral candidate at Fordham University.
Yes.
And I say to you, congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations you. And the very best. So I'm turning over the mic to you, Corey. You can tell us a little bit about your project.
The Bronx African American History Project, we conduct oral histories, oral interviews of Bronx resident histories, and I archive them. We have over, I believe, 200. It was started in 2002. I've been working alongside Dr. Jane Edwards and Mark Nason for about 2 years now, and it's just been an incredible experience to be able to hear the stories about the Bronx from residents who've lived in the Bronx longer than I've been alive, and to hear them tell stories about areas in the Bronx that I guess me growing up heard these areas were areas to stay away from. But when they tell their stories about areas specifically like an area like, let's say, the Patterson housing, these were places that were safe havens for black and brown people. And so it's just been a very transformative experience. I know that one of the projects that I'm currently going to be working on is the hip hop edition of the oral histories. And so we have 2 interviews coming up in the month of March with Grandmaster Melly Mel and Grandmaster Cass for them to talk about what it was like being prolific songwriters in the early stages of hip hop. And so I'm really excited about that. That's what a lot of my research is going to be focused on in the coming years, is songwriting practices in hip hop. So, yeah, I'm really excited to be working with the Bronx African American History Project, and I look forward to doing more events like this, coming into the community and making those connections.
Absolutely. Now, your own trajectory, your own story, you told us a little bit about that. You want to share with us and viewers. You're a product of, you said, the public school systems here in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that and how you got to Fordham?
Sure. Born and raised in the Bronx, I went to PS 31 off of, I think it's 148th and Grand Concourse. South Bronx. I think it's closed down. Then I went to MS 113, Richard R. Green. That's here. Then I went to Evander Childs High School. After Evander Childs High School, I went to Bronx Community College, then Lehman College, and now I'm at Fordham University.
Doing your
PhD in American literature.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been a great experience. I know that Fordham has its difficulties and challenges and things that the university as a whole needs to grow in, but my personal experience where I'm at in the English department with the faculty, with my colleagues has been amazing. I have nothing negative to say. They've been 1,000% supportive of the work that I want to do, of the individual that I am, and so I'm having a great time.
Thank you so much, Corey. Now, if somebody wants to get in touch with you about this archiving project, how would they reach you?
Sure, they can email me at cspencer14@fordham.edu.
You want to say that again?
C for Corey, cspencer14@fordham.edu.
Okay, very good. And Corey, we want to thank you for taking time out to come and speak with us. And we want to wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, best.
From My Builders. My Builders is a community institution here in the Bronx. In the spirit of celebrating African American History Month, My Builders was founded by an African American woman 41 years ago who is still our executive director. And she started this organization because the Bronx had become a cultural desert, and she was looking for programs and such for her own child. And she realized the need, and she single-handedly started the school. As I said, we're 41 years in existence. We're a creative arts center. We celebrate the arts. We celebrate the culture, and we're committed to preserving that culture, helping young people learn their talents, and sort of also retain and understand their history. So we have classes in every dance genre, ballet, tap, modern, you name it, we have it. We also offer karate classes. We offer classes for adults. We offer music instruction, everything from the Suzuki violin to voice lessons. We have our music recitals that are coming up. The music recitals will be at MS 113. We also have our dance recitals, which will be there as well. And we are having a folk culture program this summer for teenagers. So there are a lot of Bronx teenagers who don't have anything to do and who don't get selected by the Summer Youth Employment Lottery. So the folk culture program is dedicated again to preserving our history and teaching our young people about the legacies that they come from, and how to pass on that information. So it is a pleasure for me to be here, hear what you guys are doing. Glad to see you all. Feel free to stop by the table and get some information. Our Mind Builders building is on Olinville Avenue, 3415 Olinville Avenue. The building was recently upgraded, so our building is brand new. Part of our building and all the amazing things we have an amazing installation of African art. I brought 2 pieces, they're at the table, but throughout the building, the art is everywhere. So again, just sort of reiterating our legacies, and the young people are walking the halls and see where they come from. If you're ever in the neighborhood, feel free to stop by. We're open Monday through Saturday. We also have classes for adults, African dance, we have Zumba. So thank you for having me, Alex, and feel free to pick up some information.
Hi, good morning. Once again, this is Patrick Thomas from Reflections. I have with me Miss Opal McCalla from Mind Builders, who is taking the time out from this wonderful event to tell us a little bit about her organization, Mind Builders. Opal, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. So as you explained, I'm from Mind Builders Creative Arts Center. We're located here in the Bronx. This year we celebrate 41 years in existence. We are committed to the cultural preservation of young people and having young people explore their talents and such through the arts. We offer classes in everything from guitar, karate, all genres of dance for all ages. And the culminating activities that we celebrate at the end of the year are our dance recitals and music recitals. So those are upcoming.
When is that?
Those dates are April 26th at 3 p.m., May 16th at 6 p.m., May 17th at 3 p.m., and the recitals will be taking place at MS 113. We also have programs for teenagers during the summer, but all of these programs and information are available on our website, www.mind-builders.org, or you can give us a call, 718-652-6256. Again, we are located in the community, 3415 Olinville Avenue, and I look forward to having you come out, witness our programs, participate in our recitals, etc. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Opal.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Take care.
This is Patrick Tomlinson from Reflections at the African American History Celebrations here at 4101 White Plains Road, sponsored by Assemblyman Carl Heastie's office. We had some very spirited conversations, insightful looks at various issues in the African American / Caribbean American community. And we thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again in the near future. And thank you once again for tuning in. From Reflections, this is Patrick Tomlinson.
I am a revolutionary with a courageous heart beating in my chest, as small as an acorn nut.